All right, welcome back to the Cookies and Cream podcast. I'm Jack.
Hi, Jack.
What's up? All right, so good intro there. We have our special guest today, first guest on the show, DeMatteo. Why don't you say hi?
Welcome.
Tommy, what grade are you in at their academy right now?
Where do you go to school?
Where do you...
I'm in 11th grade at their academy.
11th grade.
Mario, first we want to ask you, can you please explain to us your daily schedule on a quarantine day?
Daily schedule. With or without school?
Both. Give us both. Give us
All
without.
right.
With is boring.
Wake up.
What time do you wake
Wake up probably like 10:30 or 11. Eat some breakfast. Watch TV. Then probably till like 12 o'clock. Then probably do some homework or go outside, play some basketball. Then probably like watch some more TV. Play some PlayStation. Probably left, and then that's pretty much all I do in a day.
What time do you go to bed?
Probably like not later than like 12 when we got school the next day. Actually, not later than like 1 with school the next day.
Any PlayStation?
Huh?
Any PlayStation in that routine?
A little Call of Duty, some GTA.
Nice. Good to hear.
And,
So tell us about the mullet. Tell us where the idea came from, how you got it.
Well, I watched this show Tiger King a few months ago. I don't know if you guys also watched it. Guy on the show had a pretty good looking mullet. Kind of liked it, and then sort of ended up being that I didn't go to a bar, haven't been to like a barbershop or anything, as I know a bunch of other people haven't either. So my hair was like pretty much longer than it ever been. So I decided to try something different. Well, my hair was wicked long, see what it looked like, and probably pretty happy with it right now, to be honest.
What are your
I
plans?
like it.
Like when you
What
get
does everyone think?
I like it.
when you get tired of the mullet, are you gonna go bald again?
No way. No, I knew whatever haircut, however this came out, it would be better than what they gave me at Supercuts, like in like December.
I wanted to see the boys regular again.
Yeah, they did be dirty with that one.
So tell us about your last year back to fair, and about your football season mainly.
So had a good time back at Thayer this year. Definitely caught up with some people I hadn't seen in a while. Then was sort of reunited with all my friends who were seniors. Also played football, had a good time, even though we weren't that good. And
What positions you play?
Played D end and guard.
Do you like playing those positions?
Yeah, they're all right. I definitely like D end, but trying to play tight end next year.
Oh, tell us more about that. How's that process going?
Oh yeah, so
I heard you're making a big switch. Like how you doing this?
How are you training for it?
Sort of the usual stuff, just like lifting weights, agility ladder.
Yeah.
How are they
Probably gonna be running some routes over the summer.
What's up, Jalen?
So how's he plan on working on his hands?
I don't know. Haven't done too much for that yet.
Okay.
Maybe like throw a tennis ball against the wall or something for a little bit.
So it's looking like you'll probably be back at the end.
On defense, I'll be at the end.
How do you feel about fullback? I feel like you're more of a fullback.
Yeah, I would also be cool with that.
How do you feel about guard? I feel like considering that, the team you just described, you'd be more of a guard.
I definitely had a good time at guard.
Yeah.
But I feel like I could be even better at like tight end or fullback. Run with the ball a little.
Hmm. Interesting.
What's
You
your
say you're a good guard. You know what you're doing. Clean player.
Yeah. I mean, I would say so.
Nice.
yeah? How many did you have any penalties last season or anything like that?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely had a few penalties.
Any blocking the backs at all?
Yeah. There was one that I definitely remember against Belmont Hill.
Oh, I
had about a
yeah.
20-yard run on like I think the third or fourth play of the game. You know, we were on like the 10-yard line. Jack had about a 20-yard run. And then I blocked some guy in the shoulder. I mean, I guess they're like a little angle from behind, but it was like pretty much on the shoulder, to be honest. And they called a penalty on it. It's pretty annoying.
Oh man.
Can we get your strengths and weaknesses for next year's football team?
For like the whole team. I mean, I would probably say O-line is definitely probably the biggest weakness. And then I would say probably like skill positions on offense. I mean, I think we're like pretty sad on defense though.
Can we get a record prediction?
Record prediction? We play 8 games, right?
Yeah, you have the same schedule, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we do. I would say 6-2.
Pretty good.
Who do you lose to?
Lose to probably Nobles and Sebs.
So you see yourself competing with the top tier teams such as BB&N and Milton next year?
I mean, I felt like this year against BB&N, we were definitely like as good enough to be playing them. We just like couldn't get it done in some ways, and Milton Academy lost like a lot of seniors, so I feel like we'll definitely be able to compete, especially because we're gonna have like at least 10 or 15 seniors, I think.
I just have a quick input. We got word from the studio. You guys can see this. This seems to be the play he was talking about. You know, here's the guy, and here's him. Jack is already gone, way past him, and he seems to push him there from behind.
That looked clean to me.
Do you have any comment on that?
I mean, when you're playing the game, it doesn't look the same as it does on the film.
That made no sense.
That is true. 2 different angles.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
From my angle, it seemed legal.
Yeah.
So, can we get a stat prediction for yourself? Let's say you're playing tight end, 8
How many
games.
sacks? How many sacks?
Yeah, stats, offense and defense.
I feel like offense, I can't really give a prediction because I don't know what position I'm gonna play.
Just pretend like you're playing tight end.
Yeah.
Tight end, I don't even know. Honestly, I don't really know how good I would be, to be honest.
All right, D end then. 4 fumbles.
D end, I would say probably 6 or 7 sacks. 1 forced fumble.
Nice.
Cool. Some good stats.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, what else? What have you been doing to keep in shape during this quarantine?
Yeah, I think I've gotten a couple of videos of
Yeah, 222.
you pounding the
Yes,
iron a
but that's
little bit. And yeah, care to like tell us what your workout regimen's been like, or
Yeah. So
I think a lot of people are interested.
yeah, I'm sure. So I got a weight rack a couple weeks ago. Actually, more like a month ago now. So I've been using that. I'll pretty much do like 3 days in a row of like squats, like back and then chest and shoulders. And then yeah, I'll sort of do 3 days in a row of that, and then skip a day or two, and then do the same 3.
Can you tell us about the horrible experience you went through where your life flashed before your eyes and the bar almost took your head off?
Oh yeah, so I was bench pressing a couple weeks ago, and I had this bench that I'd had for like a couple of years. Didn't really use it that much though, and I guess it was pretty cheap, and it sort of just snapped while I was benching, and I didn't have anyone spotting me, so it was stuck on my neck for a little bit, for like 20 seconds, probably less than that, probably like 10 seconds before I got it off.
Sounds terrifying.
Very inspiring.
I'm glad you're safe.
Yeah, thank you.
As a senior on the football team next year, do you have anything to say to the team? About what we can expect, and any motivation for the players going into the season next year, even though we're in this tough time with quarantine.
I would just say like keep working hard, just be motivated through these times.
Very inspiring.
Good words.
All right, Tommy, last question. Can you just tell us your plans for the future individually, like where you see yourself in maybe 2 years from now? Your goals?
My goals for what? Like where to go to college?
Do you plan on playing football? If so, what division? How do you plan on doing that? Just your goals.
Yeah, so I would say probably playing college football. Probably D2 or D3 school. Yeah, probably like a like high academic school, I would hope, and definitely play football there and ball out.
Great.
Love to hear it.
Really inspiring.
Thanks.
This has been good. Thanks for joining. It's been fun. We hope to see you soon. We probably, to be honest, we probably won't be having you on the podcast again anytime soon. But I'm glad you came on today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Get back to work, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Podcast.
Peace.
See ya.
What a guy.
That was great.
Love that.
First interview couldn't have gone better. Wow.
Oh man.
All right, let's get into football.
Some stats.
All right, I say first, I'm gonna pick my player. We're going stat predictions. I say we get it popping. Let's go with Tom Brady to start. I'm writing down 4,800 yards, 41 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. So
Right.
I throw about 300 yards a game.
I agree.
You said 4,800 yards.
Yeah.
So
do that.
that'd be his most amount of yards since 2012.
Mhm. Yeah, when he threw over 5,000 that year.
Wait, how many touchdowns did you say?
41.
41.
41 touchdowns.
41 touchdowns.
Oh.
That would be a second career best. All right, so Jack has him having an MVP season.
Yeah.
MVP candidate, Jack?
MVP, winner. Yeah.
So, yeah, you don't think they're going to run the ball very much at all?
No, I think they'll run the ball, but I don't think they have, they're going to have that red zone threat they've had in the past, like you've seen with LeGarrette Blount, or even Michelle a couple years ago. And I think he's going to, in the red zone, have a lot more targets, and they're going to be able to stretch the field more. That's why I see the increase in touchdowns and the increase in yards, too.
What do you have any idea on his passer rating?
I'm going to call it like 105, jumping up. I mean, and when he won the MVP a few years ago, it was 102. But, looking at these numbers, and his completion percentage might jump up too with the how good the receivers are. I'd say maybe between 103 and 105.
Yeah, I feel like Tom definitely has the most amount of offensive weapons that he's had in his career. Maybe Randy Moss, but he has 2 very good tight ends. And we saw how he did with Gronk and Aaron Hernandez. And then he has 2 very good receivers rather than the usual one or the usual decent one. But at the end of the day, he is, 40, 41?
To be 43.
42. So yeah, I haven't seen Father Time kick in yet, and as a Pats fan, I'm not going to prey on his downfall, but I have him more in like the 4,500 passing yard range, and probably like I'll give him like 30 touchdowns. Still potential MVP candidate, but
That's a really good
don't
year.
see him, like winning. Yeah,
What about
Yeah,
the
I see 4,500 or above, and then I say at least 35 touchdowns. And I'm thinking, I think nine interceptions, 9 or 10 interceptions.
Jack, yeah, I'm seeing 4,500, 35 touchdowns too. I'm seeing a little less interceptions though, a little less, maybe like 6. I'm seeing him having a great season this year.
I think he's reaching 5,000 yards, new system. But I think he'll also be a little bit inefficient, probably 30, maybe 35, 40 touchdowns in between that, but also like 12 interceptions, new system and like a lower completion percentage than usual. But he'll be airing it out this year, so the stats will look good.
What player are we going over next?
Let's go Lamar.
Let's go Lamar. Who's going first?
I think TJ should start it off.
Yeah, you go.
I'll talk on Lamar. I'm seeing 4,300 yards, 35 passing touchdowns, 15 rushing touchdowns, and with only maybe 8 interceptions.
How many interceptions?
Maybe 8.
Mhm.
At most.
Yeah,
He's
So
gonna be
let's
running
see.
the ball a lot.
Lamar had 3,100 passing yards last year. I don't think he got any more passing weapons, which is kind of a downside for the Ravens. I really do have Hollywood Brown, and their tight end is really good. But
they lost.
I see Lamar probably getting around 3,800, 3,700 yards. Pretty big jump, but not too crazy of a jump. TDs, I still think he's going to be off the charts with the TD. Maybe hit the 40 touchdown mark. And interceptions, he has 6 last year. I think he'll be around that number again, maybe 7.
What about rushing yards?
Oof. How many rushing yards do you have last year?
Around 1,000, a little like maybe 1,200.
I
That's a
think
guess.
something like that. I definitely think he has another 1,000-yard season. I think he's gonna go on like a 4-season streak of 1,000 yards. So I'll put him around 1,000.
Oh, wow.
How many rushing TDs?
I think he will throw for over 3,000, but not over 3,500. I think 30 touchdowns, above 30. I think he rushes for more touchdowns this year. I'm not sure what he rushed for last year, but and I think he has around 1,000 yards. I think he builds off what he did last year, but he doesn't exceed what he did last year. I think he stays in that. I don't know. I just don't think he gained some dominant weapons that could give him the edge.
I'm looking at with the touchdowns. Last year, obviously Lamar had a great season. He's a great player. He had but the thing I look with the passing touchdowns, he had 10 in 2 games. He had those 5 against the Jets and those 5 against the Dolphins. And and how great that was. You don't see 10 touchdowns in 2 games happening a lot. So I'm gonna go down on the touchdowns. I'm gonna call him throwing for about 32 to 3,300 yards, 27 touchdowns. I'm gonna say 8 picks, but I'm gonna say he rushes for about 1,100 yards and 7 to 10 touchdowns. So he's gonna have a great offensive year. Passing numbers, I think, just go down a little just because of those that Jets and Dolphins games, but the efficiency will still be there as far as passing numbers go. And then obviously he's a great rusher.
Yeah, I think he's going to pass for around 3,200 yards, 34 touchdowns. I think he'll throw a lot of touchdowns. I also think he'll throw more picks this year, so probably around 10. But I don't think he'll reach 1,000 yards rushing. More teams are game planning for him. They also brought in J.K. Dobbins, so he'll take away some of the rushing attempts. So I think he'll end up getting like 800, but I also think he'll get like 9 rushing touchdowns. So he'll end up having a great season, but I don't think it'll be better than last year.
What is like the best way a team could prepare for a rushing quarterback who can also throw the ball though?
I think teams just need athletes on the field to do that. In their division, the Browns picked up, I'm pretty sure they got Blake Martinez this year. He's a pretty good linebacker. He might be able to keep up with him. And the Steelers, they just have a great pass rush with TJ Watt. So they might be able to contain him. The Bengals defense kind of sucks. I don't think they'll be able to contain him at all. And he will he'll run around them like he did last year with that nasty spin move. But I think especially with more rushing, with J.K. Dobbins coming in, I think he'll take a big load of the touches. So that's just gonna lower his productivity, but it will probably increase his efficiency.
I don't think I ever see Lamar throwing double-digit touchdowns it's not touchdowns, interceptions for a while, because he's got the ultimate throwaway in his scrambling ability, where he's not throwing the ball away. He can just take off and run, and he doesn't need to force it that often. So I think that's why the touchdowns, I said 8, which I think could even be high. It could be 5, 5 or 6.
I think you have to keep other teams. I think you have to keep Lamar in the pocket. You can't let him escape or break through to the outside or anything like that. You just got to keep him contained in the pocket the whole time. Make him throw in the pocket. Not let him scramble. That's how you defend him.
All right. So for the next play, I kind of want to switch up the positions. I want to take a look at DeAndre Hopkins. Last year with the Texans, had 104 receptions, 1,165 receiving yards, and 7 touchdowns. Me personally, I think that his numbers are going to increase, but not too crazily with his new team and new quarterback. He is, of course, the best receiver on his team by far, but Christian Kirk is a really good number 2, so I don't see teams focusing up on Hopkins too heavily. So I'm gonna have Hopkins around 1,200 receiving yards, but I do see a boost in his touchdowns. I'm gonna give him about 10 touchdowns, and for the receptions, I think he'll hover around 105, so kind of close to last season.
Yeah, I think he gets over 100 receptions too. I think I agree with you with the 1,200 yards. Yeah, I don't think he gets more than 1,300. But I do see him getting more touchdowns. I feel like he'll be in the double digits for touchdowns for sure. They got a lot of weapons over there in Arizona with Kenyon Drake in the backfield now too. Kyler Murray can run, scramble. Christian Kirk, they got Larry's still playing, right?
Yeah,
he's got so
still good.
You can't count him out. He can still do it. He still gets the touchdown. So there are a lot of threats all over the field. So I think it'll open up for DeAndre Hopkins to do his thing still, not be just locked down every game. It's the number one threat because they got weapons everywhere. So I'm excited to see what he does.
I see the because it's Kyler, he's got a new toy, and I think early in the season, maybe first 5 games, he's going to be forcing it deep a lot, and they're going to have some big plays, some big yards per catch, but it's going to be 3 to 4 catch games for DeAndre. They're going to be trying to hit the home run ball. Not going to have a high completion percentage between the two. And then after that starts calming down, I think the catches go up. But I think because of that first short stretch, he's going to be hovering around 85 to 90 catches, But I see, because of the deep ball, the yards going up to around 1,300, touchdowns, but anywhere from 10 to 12.
I think they're going to get their money's worth with the short passes with DeAndre Hopkins. Or they should plan on that, but then develop the deep ball eventually.
Yeah, I think that Kyler, he's still a young quarterback, and DeAndre, he's a top 3 receiver in the league. So I think he's going to rely on him a lot. I think he'll end up getting somewhere around 110 catches, maybe 1,400 yards. I see him having a big year, but I also see him not getting too many touchdowns, maybe only 6 or 7, just because I feel like Kyler's going to be kind of inefficient this year, throw a lot of interceptions.
I agree with the 110 catches, but disagree with the touchdowns. I could see him getting maybe 13, 14 touchdowns and 1,500 yards.
All right, what player next?
I was thinking we talk about the Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams connection and predictions for them.
Well, Adams is tough to predict for me because he's always hurt.
He's always hurt. That's what. Yeah.
So I'm gonna stick with
You think
just
he gets
Rodgers
hurt?
for now on this first one.
You think Devontae gets hurt this season?
No, I can't predict injuries, and I don't want to predict injuries. But you know, you never know with him. But I'm looking at Rodgers. I'm looking at his last few years, and I mean, he's always good. He's always efficient. He takes good care of the ball. Just, you know, with the little upgrade, it's going to be tough for him to do a ton. So I'm saying he's going to be, you know, around 4,300 yards, 26 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. I think, you know, Jones might get a lot of rushes again. A lot of, you know, Rodgers puts them down. Great drives. They get down to the 3-4 yard line. Jones maybe punch it in. Maybe AJ Dillon punches it in now too, because he could be a good goal line threat. And I think they're gonna have a good scoring offense. Rodgers has another really solid year, but not that prime 40 touchdown Rodgers.
I think that we'll have a pretty average Aaron Rodgers year. Nothing crazy, but nothing bad. I think he still has it, of course, but the Packers just didn't really make enough moves this offseason. Actually made little to no moves on the offensive side to help Rodgers. So I'm going to give him the average numbers. I say he gets around like 3,800 passing yards. For touchdowns, I see him on closer to 30 this season. So I'll give him about like 29, 30 touchdowns. Interceptions, Aaron Rodgers is one of the elite quarterbacks. Doesn't really ever throw double-digit interceptions. So I'm going to keep him around 5 interceptions. So, yeah, pretty average year for Aaron Rodgers.
Devontae Adams. Well, like Thorban says, like he doesn't really stay healthy, but if he stays healthy, I can see like 85 receptions, maybe 1,000 yards, maybe a little less, and like 8-9 touchdowns. And Rodgers, yeah, like Thorban's saying again, he's on his last few years. I think he's gonna have like 30 touchdowns, throw for 4,200 yards, and maybe like 5-6 interceptions.
All right, I like that. Then could we go to the reigning Super Bowl MVP next?
Mahomes.
Patty Mahomes.
So, Mahomes, I looked at it, and, I think putting Mahomes with Andy Reid would be like putting, I don't even know, like Lawrence Taylor with Bill Belichick. It's just, you're putting such a great weapon with one of the best minds on that side of the football. Andy Reid, I think, is one of the best offensive play callers. Tons of weapons with Kelsey, Hill, just so much speed on that team. Hardman, Marcus Robinson. They added the kid from LSU. That's another weapon. And I say Mahomes throws 5,100 yards. Gets over that 5,000 mark. I'm saying he's going to throw 43 touchdowns. And I'm saying 11 picks just because it looks like the secondaries in his division are pretty good. And, 11's not a big number. He threw 12 his first year as a starter, his MVP year. So, he could be less as he keeps progressing, but I'm saying that, another big year for Mahomes.
So yeah, he not crushed, but he did hit that 5,000 mark. First year as a starter, although he did drop off, hit 4,000 this past season, and his
games.
Yeah.
He was hurt for a couple games.
Yeah. But I don't see him hitting 5,000 again. I got him around like 4,800, 4,700 passing yards. But I do have his TDs at around like 46, 45 touchdowns. Nothing too crazy. But I do see the Chiefs coming in hot as one of the greater teams. And I got him only throwing about 4 or 5 intos. I think that he'll be working on his sight, his vision as he gets more experience with the defenses. He'll know what he's up against, and I don't see him throwing any more than 5 interceptions.
if everyone on the team stays healthy, they got Tyreek Hill the whole year, Travis Kelce the whole year, all the weapons the whole year, I think Mahomes easily throws above 5,000 yards. I think he gets around 45 touchdowns, and I think max 10 picks. I think he's just going to continue to get better, have a dominant season. I don't think there's it's hard to slow that offense down. So I don't think the defense has figured them out yet. So
yeah, I think Mahomes, he's gonna chuck it this year. Like he'll be like Jameis Winston last year, but just a lot more efficient. I think he's throwing like 5,000 yards. I'm gonna go with 39 touchdowns. It's really hard to hit 40. Like I know he made it look easy his rookie year by throwing 50, but I don't know if he'll do that again in his career. But I'm seeing him throw maybe like 11 interceptions because I know his first year he had like a lot of dropped picks. Obviously last year he was more efficient, but I don't know. It's hard to throw like 5,000 yards and less than 10 interceptions. So I think it was thrown around there.
Like I said, always say Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. I feel like Patrick Mahomes is gonna have an MVP contender season, throwing for 5,100 yards, 45 touchdowns with only 8 to 9 picks.
I like that. Jalen, you had one more player you want to go over?
Yeah, with 3 minutes left, I wanted to squeeze in the man returning, Rob Gronkowski.
WWE champion.
Yeah, so in his last playing season with the Patriots, he had 47 receptions, 680 yards, and a few touchdowns. I'm not sure. I'm sure he did miss a few games on injuries, but I'm not 100%. So I see his numbers kind of staying around there. I don't see Gronk having a big comeback season. I kind of see him coming in, being more used for run blocking and stuff. Not really the prime Gronkowski. So I'm gonna put him around 700 receiving yards. Nothing too crazy, but nothing too bad. And then for touchdowns, I do see his touchdowns going up. I'm gonna give Gronk about 5 or 6 touchdowns, but I wouldn't take him in the first few rounds in fantasy.
I think I see Gronk as a decoy again this year to start the season off. It's just the name Gronkowski. Defenses are terrified of that man. I think beginning of the season he's used as a decoy. But by the middle towards the end of the season, once all of the receivers are being used on the Bucs offense, I see Gronk's numbers go up. I see him with about 800 receptions, maybe 60 to 70 receptions, and I think I see 7 or 8 touchdowns.
I'm looking at, Gronk coming back, being healthy, pacing himself though, being a great blocker, dominant in the run game. Looking at 65 to 70 catches, 800 yards, 8 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think he'll have maybe 45 catches, 500, 600 yards, but he'll kill it in the run blocking game, and I think he'll get 10 touchdowns.
All right. Good stuff. This has been a great podcast, and see you guys next time.
Thank you for
All right.
watching.